Afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on the Lewis Basketball Network, and I just told you on the last video that we are going to take a trip back in time to 2016, that very special year that the Cleveland Cavaliers, led by the greatest player of all time in LeBron James, aka the greatest of all trolls, who said he beat this 73-9 Golden State team, you know, and it made him the Ultimate Warrior, according to him. I remember when he sported that Ultimate Warrior t-shirt at the parade. Man, really something. But we are taking a trip back in time, and we are going to dissect the NBA Finals thoroughly, as to tell you why the 2016 NBA Finals was not a great historic 7-game series. Now, off the bat, look at all of these scores, ladies and gentlemen. We go to game one. The 57-win Cavaliers against the 73-9 Golden State Warriors. Cleveland came off of a 6-game series defeat, triumph win over the Toronto Raptors. The Warriors came off coming back from a 3-1 deficit to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, who should have beat them in that series. But if you go back to game one, look at the final score right there, ladies and gentlemen. Golden State wins by 15, 104-89. Let us go into the box score, shall we? This was on June 2nd of 2016. Well, let's look here. LeBron James, the self-proclaimed king, the media put that, in nearly 41 minutes, 40 minutes and 53 seconds total minutes played. 9 of 21 from the field, 23 points with a plus minus of -9. Look at those rebounds, 12 rebounds. But, yeah, he had 4 offensive rebounds. But once again, I told you about those overrated XYZ stats. He has way more defensive rebounds, but that's due to, once again, the work of his defense, because LeBron is stationary. I already said this many times. LeBron James stopped playing defense in the prime of his career when he left the Miami Heat in 2014. That was when he made second team. The last time he made first team was the year prior in his MVP season in 2013. And I'm not going to lie, 2013 LeBron was a beast. Arguably the best season of his career, in my opinion. Let's look at Kyrie Irving. 7 of 22 in nearly 38 minutes of play. 26 points with a -9, plus minus. Kevin Love, 7 of 17 from the field, 41%. I mean, he shot better than Kyrie Irving. Hit you through 2 3-pointers. Got you 13 rebounds. Gave you 17 points, but he had a -8. But he did give you 17 and 13, though. And he did a good job on the defensive glass. We know Kevin Love is a beast of a rebounder. J.R. Smith in 36 minutes. 3 total points and a -13, the worst among the starters. Can you believe this? Channing Frye only played 7 minutes and 10 seconds and had the highest plus minus of anybody on the team with a +4. Shumpert, Jefferson, and Dellavedova were the worst off the bench. -15, -10, -19. Now, let's go down to the Warriors. Draymond Green plays 40 minutes. Scores 16 points on 5 of 11 shooting. Steph Curry, 4 of 15 from the field with a -1. Harrison Barnes, 6 out of 10 for 13 points or hitting a 3. No, making a free throw, sorry. He was 0 for 2 from 3. Klay Thompson, only 4 of 12 from the field. 9 points with a plus minus of +5. Steph Curry and Andrew Bogut, 5 of 7. But he had a -8. So, Andrew Bogut had the worst plus minus of the starters, +8. But let's go to the bench. Iguodala. He gave you 7 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, and a block with 12 points with a plus minus of +21. The best plus minus out of everybody playing in that game. And Sean Livingston, 8 out of 10 from the field. He gave you 20 points, and he had a plus minus of 20. So Iguodala and Sean Livingston, the Golden State bench scored 45 points. 32 of the 45 was scored by Iguodala and Sean Livingston. The Cleveland Cavalier bench, they outscored the Cleveland Cavalier bench 45-10. Yikes. Golden State wins by 15. 2 players off their bench. Now, game 2. Oh my good golly. Golden State wins by 33 points. Wow. Okay, let's go to the box score. shall we? LeBron James, 33 minutes, 38 seconds, 19 points, 7 of 17 from the field. 8 rebounds. Look at that. No offensive rebounds. 9 assists due to the LeBron James system. 4 steals. But look at that stat line, guys. 7 turnovers. By the way, LeBron is number 1 all-time in playoff history in total turnovers. He's currently 5th all-time among regular season turnovers, but he's already number 1 all-time in playoff turnovers. But here dudes want to keep talking about how Kobe has the most missed shots. In other words, LeBron continues to give a lot of extra possessions to the other team, but he's the greatest player of all time. Look at that. LeBron with a plus-minus of -20. J.R. Smith, 5 points. Kyrie Irving only scores 10, 5 of 14. Kevin Love was only 2 of 7, so he only took 7 shots. Only had 3 rebounds with a -8. Kyrie Irving had the worst among the starters with a -26. And as a matter of fact, of the entire game, a -26. J.R. Smith with a -21. But we all know the old saying, it ain't LeBron's fault. The bench. Richard Jefferson with 12 in 26 minutes. Iman Shumpert, 3 points. Matthew Dellavedova, 7 points on 2 of 9. Timofey Mozgov, only 5 points. Look at that. Kyrie, the worst among the starters. Iman Shumpert, the worst among the bench. The bench gives you 27 points. So they up their point total from game 1 plus 17 off the bench. Now we go to the Golden State Warriors. Wow. Okay, Harrison Barnes didn't shoot that great. Only took 7 shots, 5 points. Draymond Green, 11 of 20 from the field, makes 5 threes, plus 20 with 28 points. Klay Thompson shoots 6 of 13, which is much better than game 1, and he scores 17 points, 6 of 13. Steph Curry, in only 25 minutes, was 7 of 11 from the field, hit 4 3-pointers. He had 9 rebounds and scored 18 points. And look at that. Among all the starters, he had the best plus-minus on the floor for the starters with plus 25. And Bogut gives you a plus 10 and scores 4 points. Let's go to the bench. Iguodala, 7 points, but look at the plus-minus, ladies and gentlemen. Plus 28. So Iguodala had the highest total for plus-minus on the floor. Sid Livingston gives you 7 plus 12. Barbosa gives you 10, 21, and Barbosa led all scorers off the bench. So in game 1, Golden State bench 45-10 in favor of Golden State plus 35. Game 2, Cleveland scores 27 off the bench. The Warriors give you, let's see, it's 14, 10, that's 24, 30, 37, 40. 40-27, Golden State plus 13. If you add the 2 games total, Golden State 72. The Cleveland Cavaliers 37. So that means that Golden State has scored 35 more bench points through the first 2 games than the Cleveland Cavaliers. They win this game by 33 points. So the Golden State Warriors through the first 2 games are beating the Cavaliers by an average of 24 points. And what's so crazy about LeBron James's teams in the fact when he came back to Cleveland, they were not ever a dominant team, yet they always had the easiest playoff schedule. So funny, man. So funny. Let's go to game 3. If this thing will start clicking. Sorry, guys. Here we go. My goodness, look at that score. Cleveland wins by 30. Once again, let's go into the box score of game 3. Remember, through the first 2 games, Golden State bench 72, Cleveland Cavalier bench 37. Now, Draymond Green, 2 for 8. Harrison Barnes shoots the ball well, 18 points. Steph Curry shoots the ball okay, 19 points. Klay Thompson, 4 of 13, minus 27, worst among the starters. Andrew Bogut with a minus 21. 4 out of the 5 starters had a minus of 20 or more. Out of at least 20 or more. Draymond Green was the only one with the lowest. Let's go to the Golden State bench. Iguodala, 11. Sean Livingston, 5. The Randall Barbosa, 8. Varejao gives you a point. Spates gives you 5. And Ian Clark gives you 3. Golden State bench gives you 16, 24, 25, 30, 33 bench points. So through 3 games, Golden State has 105 bench points. Cavaliers. LeBron, 14 of 26 from the field. 32 points with a plus 24 in 40 minutes. Gives you 11 rebounds, 6 assists. But look at that, 5 turnovers. But he played well. Look at that. J.R. Smith, 7 of 13 from the field, 5 3-pointers. So LeBron did have help. 20 points. Kyrie Irving, 30 points. Did y'all see that? 12 of 25, 3 of 7 from 3-point range. Ladies and gentlemen, with 8 assists. Not only that, look at that. Among the starters, 4 out of the 5 starters scored double figures. Richard Jefferson was 1 point away from equaling that to 10. So basically, LeBron had help. He got 50. Look at that. From the rest of the team in the starting lineup, you got 82. 82, 91, 105 of your 120 points came from your starting lineup. So the bench only gave you 15 points. But who had the highest plus minus? J.R. Smith. And look at that. LeBron and Kyrie had the same plus minus of plus 24. Tristan Thompson gave you plus 21. But you know, LeBron ain't have help. And I believe this was when Kevin Love was taken out of the rotation. I believe he was also injured as well. So yeah. But some of these plus minuses, but they bear some of them, they don't really bear impact with some of these players. But at least in terms of the starters with Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith and LeBron James, I mean, they were impactful. And J.R. Smith had the highest plus minus of all the players, of everyone. So look. So let's go to game 4. So notice this trend. 15, 33, 30. Next game. Game 4. And so far, Golden State's bench, 105. Cleveland's bench, 52. Which means a plus 53 on the Golden State bench. Excuse me. Game 4. Draymond Green struggles again, back-to-back games. Only gives you 9 points. Harrison Barnes, 14 points, plus 6. Stephen Curry in 39 minutes gives you, 11 of 25 from the field, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. He gave you 38 points. So he didn't shoot the ball like that great in terms of like from overall field goal, but from 3 was 7 of 13. 53%, and 9 of 10 from the free throw line at 90. So, in other words, Steph Curry had a weird 50-40-90 in this game. 50 from 3, 90 from the line, but 44 from the field. That's interesting. Klay Thompson gave you 25 points. 4 of 9 from 3, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Both guys give you plus 10. Once again, Draymond Green was the best among the starters with a plus 14. Steph Curry was the best in game 2 with a plus 25. Iguodala off the bench gives you 10 points plus 15. Livingston gives you 8, and then you get 2 and 2 from Varejao and James Michael McAdoo. They provide you 22 bench points. Okay? So if you add 22 more, that's 127 points through the first 4 games for the Golden State Warriors. Now, let's go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron shoots well. 11 of 21. Once again, defensive rebounds. 9. He has 13 rebounds with his 25 points. But look at that. 7 turnovers. He had 5 turnovers in the last game. J.R. Smith only gives you 3 of 10, minus 11. 10 points, minus 11 for plus minus. Look at Kyrie Irving. 14 of 28 from the field. The brother gives you 34 points. But the bench only gives you 15 points. So it's 127 now to 67 in bench points. Keep that in mind, guys, through the first 4 games. And Cleveland goes down 3-1 with LeBron playing 45 minutes. Steph Curry played 6 less minutes and looks like he had a bigger impact. And the worst part is LeBron James had the worst plus minus out of everybody on his team with minus 12. And Golden State wins by double digits by 11. It's barely above, but my point is none of these games were pretty close. None of them. Maybe at one stretch of the game, maybe, but they haven't been close. Let's go to game 5. Oh, wait. Before I do that, oh my God, I mustn't forget. We all remember what happened on a pivotal play in game 4. Draymond Green and LeBron get kind of tied up. They get tangled. They go down. LeBron James tends to walk over Draymond Green because he instigated that nonsense. We all know it. The problem is LeBron fanboys never want to admit that, but he did initiate that. He did all that to get Draymond suspended. Draymond tries to clip him in the nuts. And I'm going to say this right now. Draymond should have been suspended for that OKC series for kicking Adams in the groin, if we're really being objective. But he should have been suspended that time, but they chose the right time because they were playing LeBron James. Then LeBron instigates the suspension by Draymond calling him the B word. Wow, LeBron, some man you are. And some things a man doesn't go, and I get you don't get disrespected, but it was like, look what LeBron had to do. He focused on getting Draymond Green suspended. Yeah, I remember what he told the media. He's like, oh, well, there's just some things you don't really say to a man. And, the league isn't going to really look at it. Like, no matter what, the league isn't really going to look at it. So, I don't really expect them to do anything. So, and what happened? Draymond Green got suspended the next game for game 5. But the thing is, as big of an impact as that was in terms of the defensive end, the biggest impact and the biggest, most underlying impact would happen in the very next game as we go to game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at that. 112-97. This was the first half, and for the early 3 minutes, I would say 3 to 4 minutes of the third quarter was very, very, very competitive. Very competitive. And Klay Thompson scored 37 points in this game. I do remember that. But this was the infamous game where Andrew Bogut got hurt and things really changed, because through the first 4 games, LeBron James was not really able, neither him nor Kyrie were really able to attack the basket like that. I know Kyrie had an impact game in impact games in Cleveland, but like having Bogut there, like, it was erasing some of those shots where they could get easy baskets. They were really cutting off their driving lane, so they were really forcing them more to the outside. And so, but J.R. Smith, and I'm telling you right now, he injured him on purpose. He knew where Andrew Bogut was, and he ended up undercutting him, causing him to tear his ACL. I remember people were saying that the Warriors were upset with how Bogut landed and wasn't taking care of his body, but to me, that was just all intentional by J.R. Smith. So he ended up taking him out of the series. The momentum of the series really changed when Andrew Bogut went down, in terms of being able to attack the basket. But let's not also forget the impact that Kyrie Irving had when they went home to Cleveland, because he had a quarter where he scored 20 points in a quarter. I believe it was either game 3. I think it was game 3. And Kyrie had 32 points in that game. And then Kyrie Irving comes back with 34 in game 4. So Kyrie Irving was impactful. So let's not forget. So the series not changed from Kyrie scoring when LeBron wasn't doing much, Draymond Green getting suspended, and then Andrew Bogut gets undercut by J.R. Smith and then is out for the seats for the rest of pretty much the series with an ACL injury. And that's what's so crazy. And that opened the lanes for the basket. Now let's look at the stats. LeBron was 16 of 30. He had 41 points, 4 3-pointers, 5 away from the free throw line, 16 rebounds, 4 of them defensive rebounds. We all know that's the work of his defense. Tristan Thompson doesn't get enough credit for that, because look, he also had 15 rebounds. Oh, but look at Kyrie Irving. In nearly 40 minutes, 17 of 24. Look at that field goal percentage, ladies and gentlemen. 70%. 5 of 7 from the three-point line. Had a 70-70-100 game. You could imagine what his true shooting percentage is for that game. It has to be like in the high 80s. It has to be. It pretty much has to be. And then look, gives you 41. And would you look at that? Out of all the starters, if you even also include the bench, I know both him and LeBron have 41. And, LeBron did ball out in that game too. But, they're the first set of teammates that have a pair of 40-point games in the finals. I said it. And Kyrie Irving had the biggest impact because his plus minus was higher, +7 over LeBron. And of any player, on the team, they only got 12 points off of their bench. Think about that. LeBron and Kyrie accumulated for 67% of the Cavaliers' points in that game. But that was because of Andrew Bogut going down with that injury. See, that's the thing. I don't think that Kyrie Irving and LeBron are going to get the field day that they were going to have if Andrew Bogut was on the floor. That's why I said that his injury loomed more larger than losing Draymond Green. Draymond is important. Don't get me wrong. Your defensive anchor in terms of your quarterback and your communicator. But Andrew's shot blocking, his ability to switch on pick and rolls, to be able to guard and stay with his guys too at times. I'm not going to say all the time, but that was huge. So, that really affected it. Look, and this isn't it crazy that through the first 5 games, LeBron has not even led the team in plus minus in their win, in at least right now through 2 wins through the victories. And now let's go here. And then you can see Iguodala was the starter this time. 15 points. Klay Thompson had 37. Shot the ball great, but he had a -21. It was the worst on the floor. Sometimes some of these stats, it could be kind of misleading. Curry played 40 minutes and shoot well, 5 of 15 from 3, 8 of 21 from the field. He had 25 points, but was a -6. And then the bench, he only got 12. He only got 12 from the 12 from the Cavaliers, and then for the Warriors you get 10, 12, 15. So 15 to 12. Not much of disparity there. So through the first 4 games, it was 127 to 167. Then you have 79 for Cleveland, and you have 142 for the Warriors through the first 5 games. So 142 to 79 in bench points. So now, digging deeper, Game 6, where they tied the series at 3. Here we go. Draymond Green comes back after being suspended for that shabacle, for that BS. Scores only 8 points. Klay Thompson scores 25 points with a -22. Steph Curry, 8 of 20, 6 3-pointers. Curry shot the 3 ball very well in this series, if you guys notice. He shot the 3 ball very well, and he also shot the free throw line very good. So when you look into Steph Curry's numbers, his true shooting percentage is actually not bad at all. The problem is that his field goal shooting from the field overall was not great. He didn't. He had a -10, and Iguodala had the worst among the starters with a -25. And if you go to the bench, we have Sean Livingston, 3, Barbosa, 14, Festus Ezeli, 4. And when you add all the bench points, everybody but Varejao scored. You have 17, 21, 22, 25, 27. You got 33 more bench points. That's 175 bench points for the Golden State Warriors. Cleveland Cavaliers. If you look at this, guys. Tristan Thompson, 15 points, 16 rebounds. How about, I love how Shannon Sharp always talks about, did you see the back-to-back 41? Yeah, okay, LeBron had the best player, 41, 11, and 8, 11 assists, 8, 8 rebounds. His defensive rebounds, obviously, big. So they did a good job there. But look, plus 26, right? J.R. Smith, plus 20 with 14 points, 5 of 11, 4 of 3s. Kyrie Irving gave you a plus 25 with 23 points. But look at Tristan Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, plus 32. Had the highest plus minus of everybody on the team. Richard Jefferson with a plus 15. Look at that. And again, look at this. The bench gave you 32? Let's see. It was 33. Sorry, it was 33. So I said, how much did I say? It was 142. Yeah, now it's 175, correct. And then with their bench only gives you, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 15, 94. So the total is 175 to 94 in terms of bench points. The Cleveland Cavaliers tied the series. And I remember after the game when they showed a playback on Undisputed, LeBron said they're broken. He said it, they're broken. But he was acting like if he was the reason that they broke. And I'm like, chill, dude. You better relax. Relax. You be taking way too much credit, and your 3-6 Mafia cronies be believing every word you say. Like, yup, LeBron was the best player on the floor. Yep. And then the last score. Notice that, guys. Cleveland wins by 14 in Game 6, and look at that final score in Game 7. 93-89. The best game of the series was the last game of the series. I mean, technically, you would want it. You would want it to be that, you know, in a sense, right? So let's look at it. LeBron, +4, 27-point triple-double, only 9 of 24 in nearly 47 minutes. Kyrie plays 43, hits the biggest dagger shot in Cleveland Cavalier history and one of the biggest shots in finals history, gives you 26, one less point than LeBron. 10 of 23 from the field, hit a shot of shots heard around the world, man, against that 73-win Golden State team that LeBron and his fanboys love to brag about so much. J.R. Smith, +7 with 12 points. Tristan Thompson, you know, gave you 9 points. Kevin Love, in Game 7, defensive rebounds, 10. Total rebounds, 14. Gave you nearly a double-double. Look at that. Kevin Love was a +19. So wait a minute. LeBron is clearly like the best player and all this kind of crap. I get it with the points, but look what's so misleading. Not one time did LeBron lead in this series in any of the Cleveland Cavalier victories in plus-minus, which means LeBron, as impactful of a player he can be, he never had the biggest impact in this series. And you're going to say, well, how does that make sense? Because I'm telling you, people act like LeBron didn't have help, and the Cavaliers were really not doing anything until Kyrie Irving showed up. LeBron was inspired by Kyrie's play. See, that's the thing. Because if you guys remember, people were questioning if LeBron really had mentally checked out and then LeBron was really just kind of padding his stats. He was called out by Stephen A. Even I was saying the same thing because LeBron just looked out of it. I mean, he went to the stoops to get Draymond Green suspended for calling him the B word, you know? And I'm going to get to the bottom line. Let's look. Draymond Green, 32 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists with 2 steals. A damn near triple-double in the Game 7. Just a -1. Klay Thompson, 6 of 17. Then he struggled, only 14. Steph Curry, 6 of 19, only 17 points. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to go to the bench. Let's see. The bench gives you 10 points. So, when we finish the totals of the total bench force for the Cavaliers, they only gave you 10 right here. And I said that they had 79 and through the first 6 games. So that means that they finished with a total of 89 bench points in a 7-game series. Now let's look at the Golden State Warriors. So, again, right? Harrison Barnes only gives you 10 points. He pretty much struggled after that. LeBron could play he could play safety. And then the Golden State Warriors give you 12, 13, 15. Golden State gives you 190 bench points in the 7-game series. The Cleveland Cavaliers give you 89. So 190 to 89, if you do the math, that's, let's see, 170, so 89. Wow. So Golden State was plus 101 in bench points in the 7-game series. Plus 101. Golden State was plus 101. You lose Andrew Bogut. Draymond Green gets suspended for Game 5. Steph Curry had a bad ACL injury, even though he had some performances. Curry was on and off, so he was really never consistent. And I love how Nick Wright always says that, well, you know, if you put the uniform on, you're healthy. But yeah, we want to keep using that LeGroin excuse, right? But anywho, so, you know, we say that, ladies and gentlemen, and look, Iguodala with the bad back, and let's go back to that historic block that LeBron James put on Andre Iguodala. But people don't want to give credit to J.R. Smith where he slowed him down, forcing Iguodala to adjust his shot, as I've said many times in this video. But that is why that LeBron got that block. Oh, and he hit the free throws to ice it. So now you're just gonna fast forward the cassette tape and forget that Kyrie hit the shot. You're gonna forget that J.R. Smith slowed Iguodala down, and Iguodala had that bad back where he really couldn't jump. Because that's a short dunk if Iguodala's healthy. But what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm giving no excuses. The Golden State Warriors, they lost. But it's so crazy that the Cleveland Cavaliers had to do all of that. They had to do all of that. In particular, LeBron James, to get handed a 2016 trophy. And yet the Cavaliers only won by 4. Curry and Klay Thompson shoot a combined 12 for 36 in this game. But you only win by 4. Which goes to show you that even with Draymond's 32, 15, and 9, a damn near triple-double in a Game 7, and he was going to be the Finals MVP had the Golden State Warriors won, the biggest factor that took away the Warriors from winning was the inconsistent play of both Curry and Thompson. One of those guys go off, LeBron's not even winning this championship. Or if Iguodala's healthy, we're not winning the championship. How different would their drives to the basket be had Andrew Bogut been healthy? You know, when you take all this, hit Steph Curry's injury, Iguodala's injury, Draymond's suspension, Kyrie going off, the Andrew Bogut injury, you take all of those into the factor and you stir them into the pot, and you see that Cleveland wins by 4 points. They win the series in which their bench got outscored by 101 points total in the 7 games, 190 to 89. That's crazy. Which tells you this: the Cleveland Cavaliers were more talented than the Golden State Warriors when you look at their depth. The problem is the Golden State Warriors played like a well-oiled machine. And the difference that I keep telling you is LeBron was fortunate to win this championship. Because if he doesn't get all of these circumstances, LeBron would have no ring. And Cleveland would still be ringless without a championship. And they would still be in a drought. Because we saw what happened the next 2 years. Yes, we already know about the Kevin Durant thing. But like I said, all of that had to happen for LeBron to get gifted a championship. And ladies and gentlemen, what I just showed you wasn't hate. What I just showed you was the facts. What I presented to you was the facts from the Cavaliers winning the championship on a 73-win team. That all of those things had to happen, and they only won by 4 with their 2 best players going 12 for 36 in Game 7. Think about that. And LeBron was not good himself. He only shot 9 of 24. This was the only game, ladies and gentlemen, which was decided by under 5 points. That was not a double-digit win. The first 6 games were by double digits, all 6 of them. Which is why I'm trying to tell you finally that this 7-game series was not great until the last game. And people who want to complain about saying that now the Cleveland Cavaliers would have 2 championships because in 2015, LeBron was out with Kyrie and Kevin Love. Yes, we know that Kevin Love was injured to Kelly Olynyk in the first round against Boston and where the Cavaliers swept. We also know that Kyrie Irving broke his patella in Game 1 against the Golden State Warriors in 2015, the previous year. So what I'm going to tell you, the bottom line is, we can't be complaining about 2015 with what was given to the Cavaliers and LeBron James in 2016. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you pretty much played who's in front of you, and those championships cancel each other out. Because if you're going to complain about 2015, look what happened in 2016. Oh, see, you're nitpicking, man. You only want to look at 2016. Well, what happened in 2015 when LeBron was by himself? I mean, if you want me to do it, I can literally go back into 2015, into the finals, if you want me to do that. But what kind of good is it if Kevin Love wasn't there? I mean, but we could go back, if I want to. I mean, let me know if you guys want me to go back to 2015, and do a thorough breakdown of this NBA Finals. I mean, yo, I would love to do it, no question about it. Um, and this is the way all of these panned out, guys. You know, that's why I continue to say, in my opinion, that this was one of the worst series in NBA history. Only the last game was the one that was most intriguing because it was a 3-3 tie. But I thought part of it, LeBron James kind of just pretty much killed the fun with the whining and the stat padding and, through the first, 4 games looking like he really didn't even want to win this championship. Like Kyrie giving the team a jolt of energy and then getting Draymond suspended and Andrew Bogut getting undercut and injured. Harrison Barnes was a no-show the last 4 games. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson they really couldn't really go off in this series. It was just in spurts. Iguodala being injured. All of that and being outscored by plus 101 off the bench through the 7 games. It just showed you that Golden State was the better team because they played well together. They were a well-oiled machine. It was the LeBron system deferring to Kyrie Irving, Wade 2.0, against the team system with a motion offense in the Golden State Warriors. Playing off the ball, setting screens, coming back and setting back picks, setting double screens. Golden State running set plays, playing together as a team, which is why they had the better bench. Cleveland was more talented, but Golden State was the best team because of how well they played together and how they grown together and how the chemistry that they built together. This proved to me that LeBron cannot play in a cohesive system. That is what these NBA Finals showed me. People just fall in love with the stats. It just looks good on paper. This is why I always continue to say that anytime you break down something, you have to look deep into it as to why the numbers come out the way they do. They tell you the truth, but not the whole story. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know it was a long 37+ minute video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. And this is LeTruth. This is the LeTruth about the 2016 finals. Okay? And Draymond ended it by saying this, that how people keep saying that, oh, LeBron beat them so bad. I just showed you. LeBron James did not have the biggest impact this entire series in any of Cleveland's 4 victories. But he coming out here wearing the Ultimate Warrior t-shirt and people talking about, oh, he beat them so bad they had to go get Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant already had his sights set on coming here, but I know Draymond texted KD, so we not gonna excuse him for that. We already know Draymond texted KD, but like Draymond said, if we lose a 3-1 lead and the consolation prize is to get Kevin Durant, guess what? It was well worth it because we already know what happened the next 2 years. We know what's happened the next 2 years. So for those who are complaining about that Cleveland should have 2 championships and this and yada, 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 Golden State earned their 2015 championship. Cleveland got theirs. So these championships offset each other. Bottom line. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man, of this thorough breakdown of the 2016 NBA Finals, man. As always, bless up, one love, peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, man. Love you guys, man. Appreciate you as always.